Good morning, everyone, and welcome to your Miracle Mindset Monday for this week. So, for this week, we're really asking the question, we're asking the guidance about how can we really begin to start off this new year in a positive way, in an empowered way. So I'm super excited to be able to do that. And so some of the decks that I was really called to for that are the Answer is Simple, the Oracle of the Angels, and either we're going to do the Enchanted Map or we'll do Ask Your Guides. And so remember, this is just a generalized reading for the week. There's no private readings, just a generalized reading for the week. If you are interested in your own personalized Miracle Mindset Monday, that is something that I offer on my website, awakeningmiracles.org, which you can find pinned at the top of the page. So I want to begin this with my meditation message that I got this morning. And so as I was in meditation asking, how can we really start off this year? And the answer that I got was, it's about releasing grievances. It's about just really letting go. Now, when people hear the word letting go, when they hear the word forgive, when they hear, all of this different stuff, a good majority of the time, what they do is they turn their brains off. They're like, forgiveness, letting things go. And they just kind of shove it off and say, no, I'm not going to worry about that. And what we have to do, good morning. So what we do have to do is we do have to forgive. We do have to let go. But let's kind of look at a new definition of forgiveness and a new definition of letting go. Forgiveness really is all about you letting go of the idea that you could ever be changed by someone else's behavior or actions. Okay, now I cannot repeat what I just said because that was just something that came to me in that moment. So you're just gonna have to go back and watch that. And letting go is really about not holding value for the past, for those negative emotions of the past, for those negative experiences of the past. We can take the blessing with us, but we don't need to take anything else. Letting go just means I don't hold value for this in my mind anymore. People ask me, well, why did you name your website awakeningmiracles.org? Because really, that's what I love to assist people in doing, is awakening that miracle that is already there and already within them. See, the Course in Miracles, The Secret, the Law of Attraction, really any other spiritual practice that you can think of, do you want to know what it's really about? It's not about the things. It's never been about the things. What it's always been about is the feeling, is the emotion, is the thoughts that really gets us going. It really gets down to the core desire. And from that desire, there is a belief. From the belief, there is a thought. From the thought, there is an emotion. And from the emotion, there is the perception. So if deep down inside, what I really want, I desire peace and happiness and truth and this and that, well, that's great. But if there is a belief that that's not possible, then that leads to thoughts that tell you that's not possible, which then leads to emotions of disappointment, which then leads to a perception of what? Disappointment. And so what we're really doing is we are always awakening and always really stepping into, those deeper desires and emotions. But the only way that we can really get them and get to them is by releasing the grievance, is by letting go, by being willing to see the world, be willing to see ourselves in a completely different way, forgiving the perceptions of the past and stepping in to that present moment. Good morning, Giselle, and a happy new year to you. Good morning, Versha, and a happy new year to you. And Lori, hello, hello. So that's how we can begin to really step in to, this new year, is by really stepping into it. And stepping in not with the idea of, I'm going to make myself brand new. You don't need to make yourself brand new. You already are whole, pure, and perfect. What we're doing is we're stepping into that. That's what's really important to remember. You're not recreating yourself. You're not making another you. You're not making another mask. What you are doing is you are releasing, letting go, taking off, surrendering. I mean, there are a bajillion different words that we could use to really just say we're taking all that stuff off and we're stepping into this new decade, this new year. We're stepping in to the light that we are. And the only way to do that is forgiveness. The only way to do that is letting go. And the only way to do that is to surrender and really come empty. There's that, I believe it is a Zen Buddhist saying, bring an empty rice bowl before God. And that's really about letting all of that stuff go and letting the divine inform you, letting the divine fill you, because it already does. We're the ones who just have all those different things in there. And we need to let the divine fill us, in every moment to the best of our ability. So let's go ahead and let's go to, the answer is simple. And let's just ask that question. Let's ask the question of, how can we begin to step into the truth of who we are for this new decade, for this new year? How can we begin to do that? Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Excuse me. Beautiful cards. So our first one is to be courageous. To be courageous, to really step in and say, you know what? Yeah, I'm willing to step in to the light. I'm willing to step into the truth. I am being courageous and in my willingness to forgive. I'm being courageous in my willingness to let go. I'll be very honest with you. Ever since December 15th, I don't know what was special about that day, but literally my family, we have cleaned our house. I mean, we have cleaned out the garage, we've cleaned out closets, we've cleaned out desks and drawers, and everything has just been cleansed and cleared. And, there were some things that we had to really look at and say, you know what? Do we really need this anymore? Do we really need it? No. And that took, it takes some courage to really look at your life and not only look at the things that you no longer need, but also it's about looking at not only the things, but also the relationships that, you no longer need either. And so then as you go through that process, you have to give the best to yourself and be courageous in wanting the best for yourself. That's something else that's really important to look at is, what is it that I've been denying myself, and why haven't I been courageous enough to give it to myself? What is it that what mindset, what belief do I need to let go of so that I can really step in to that truth of who I am, so I can really step into giving myself the best? What is it that I need to begin to do? So let's go ahead and let's see what our next card is from this deck, asking that same question. Just what is it that the divine would like us to know for all of us? All right, so let's see. Hi, Nancy. Thanks for joining. Thanks for being here. So, absolutely beautiful. It is rebel. Rebel. Go against that grain. Go against those things that are saying, you know what? No, I can't do that. You know, whatever little voices are there saying, you know what? Yes. Yes, I can. I can go beyond this. I can rebel. I can say, you know what? Yes, I'm going to go past all of those little voices that tell me I can't. You know, and all those little voices it's just your own survival patterns that you believe are going to keep you safe. But if you really look at those patterns, they're not keeping you safe at all. They're keeping you stuck. They're keeping you in your comfort zone. And they're keeping you, excuse me, from living your life. That's what they're doing. They're not doing anything. They are hindering your own growth. So, you know, let's be courageous. Let's give ourselves the best and let's rebel against those little voices in our own heads that tell us, no, you can't, or you're going to get hurt, or this is going to be bad, or this is going to end up terrible. Instead, let's use something that I have learned from this wonderful book that I am currently practicing and reading. It's called Future Boards, and that's something that I'm practicing and reading as well as combining it with A Course in Miracles. But instead, let's say, what if instead of, you know, what if I fall? What if I fly? You know, instead of what if it fails? What if it succeeds? Instead of, well, what if I get rejected? What if I get accepted? Like, what if? Let's go to those positive what ifs instead of the negative what ifs. So now let's go to Ask Your Guides, and let's see what messages come from that deck as well. Okay, so let's see what fabulousness we have. All right, so our first card was the Nature Spirits, and it's all about devotion. And so this is really asking us to make a commitment to ourselves, to be devoted to ourselves. Hi, Katie. And so that's what this card is really asking us. It's saying, okay, let's be committed to stepping in to the truth of who we are. Let's really step in to that commitment, that devotion to our true nature. You know, let's have, you know, and this is just basically a retelling of courage. It's saying, you know, have that bravado. You know, be willing to do so. Be willing to make that commitment. Stand up for that commitment. You know, look, there's that, you know, there's the hand, you could say, of our survival patterns. And it's saying, no, you shall not pass. And yet we're standing there and being like, you know what? I am going to pass because I know that beyond you, there is a life that is waiting for me to be lived. That's what's really waiting on the other side. And, you know, we're going to use our own intuition, our own psychic awareness to assist us in getting to that next stage, getting to that next step. So then let's go ahead and let's go to the Oracle of the Angels. And let's see what other beautiful messages we have. So how can we start off 2020? How can we just begin to start off on a positive note? What guidance do you have for us from this deck that will assist us? Okay. Ooh, goodness, we have lots of messages. All right. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful messages. Okay. So, first, realize the infinite potential that you have for this year. You are an infinite being of love and light. There is nothing and no one that can stop you. The only thing that stops you is your ability to imagine what is possible. That's what stops you. Your ability to imagine what is possible. You know, infinite possibilities. I actually have a quote coming out on Wednesday that says more about that as well. You know, and then to be receptive. To be receptive. As you are receptive, to receive your blessings. And to grow. To grow into the fullness of who you are. We're not growing in the way of, you know, like a child grows. What we're doing is we're growing, I guess, like a flower. And we're growing into our fullness. That's how we're growing. You know, we are budding. We are blooming. You know, that's where we're really going to. So I really want to read you the beautiful affirmations for these cards. So let's go to 41, infinite possibilities. And I'll hold that up for you guys. Infinite possibilities. I listen to my inner voice and am guided by my inner light. I am faithful to the truth of my heart. I have within me all the potential and all the resources to succeed. I am guided to what is best for me. You know? Then we'll go to number 31. Receptivity. Receptivity. I still my mind and open to the spirit of light that permeates all things. I am at one with the universe and I am grateful to receive its blessings. Beautiful. Then we go to number 39. Blessing. The light in my heart is connected to the divine source at the heart of creation. I am forever connected to everything in existence. Past, present, and future are one through me. And then we go to card number 17, growing. And actually, you know what? I kind of want to change that card. Even though it says growing, I really want to change that to unfolding. To unfolding. So we are unfolding. Each day, I nourish myself within the light in order to unfold in divinity. I am here to unfold at a soul level. I find harmony between the material and spiritual worlds. And I free myself from inner conflict. And just take a breath with that one. That's a good one. So let's just take that breath. And just let out that ha sound. Just allow yourself to relax into it. And so that is our reading for how we can begin to really step into this year, you know, more positively, more empowered. Okay? And so number one, if you are interested in your own personalized Miracle Mindset Monday, you can, of course, go visit my website, awakeningmiracles.org, all one word. And starting January 1st, I will be on my ACIM Support page. And every day, we're going to be reading, whoops, hope it was the right way. We'll be reading from A Course in Miracles. We'll be reading one lesson a day. I'll be reading it to you. You can read along with me. And yeah, I'll be giving you my interpretation practice tips on the lesson. And then once nighttime hits, then we'll be coming back on and we'll kind of be talking about what we went through that day. There's also a monthly Zoom call, which is free. The whole thing that I'm doing with the Course in Miracles, it's all free. So there's a monthly Zoom call that if you want to join, great, wonderful. If you're not available, that's okay too. Where you can just kind of get on and we can just have a, super we could just have a talk. It's pretty much what it's for. It's for us to discuss A Course in Miracles. The book can be bought online. It can be bought from the Center for Inner Peace. That's where you can buy A Course in Miracles. You can buy it from your local bookstore. You can buy it from Amazon. I have the new 3rd edition, the only complete course as authorized by its scribe and published by the original publisher, the Foundation for Inner Peace. That's the one that I have. So I'm super excited to start this journey January the 1st. Now, if you can't buy the book, that's okay, because I'll be putting it up on my ACIM Support group, the free PDF for A Course in Miracles. So very excited. Can't wait to start our journey again through A Course in Miracles. So thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for being here. And I will post the link to my ACIM support page if you're interested in joining us. So thank you for joining me. Thank you for being here. And I send you all my love.